Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the exciting moment in the life of a person who's smoking. I'm going to tell you today how you can break the smoking habit or any other kind of habit once and for all. First thing I'm going to tell you may shock you, but you have to consider the words you've been using. Have you ever said, I'm going to quit smoking? I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to quit smoking. Well, let me ask you another question. Have you ever heard the old saying that quitters never win? I bring this up because you're really using a word that has a double negative, right? I mean, I call it a double whammy situation. When you say you're going to quit something, that generally means you are going to lose. And quitters never win. If you today say, I'm going to quit my job, you would be telling me you're going to quit earning income. Okay? That's a bad situation to be in. So when you say you're going to quit smoking, you're using and informing your subconscious mind that you're going to quit. It's not the whole story that your subconscious mind will immediately pick up on. What it's picking up on is the word quit. So never use the word quit when you are talking about a positive accomplishment. Don't use the word quit. Use the word win, victory, success, overcoming, freedom. But don't use the word quit. Just that little bit of information can get you going. But the other thing I'm going to tell you about, I'm going to tell you a story out the Bible, and it has no religious connotation to it. So no, I'm not trying to convert you and make you go to church and do whatever they do. That's up to you. But I'm telling you in the Bible that Jesus made all-inclusive statements irrespective or irregardless of any form of religion. As a matter of fact, the forms of religion we have today were not available back in his day, but they did have their own. The statement he uses and the word he uses will let you know that it's all-inclusive. Whenever you hear the word whosoever, he's talking about anybody can take advantage of the following statement that he's making. If he says whosoever, that means you or anybody. It means any Joe Blow off the street. Anybody. It's all inclusive. It includes everybody on the planet. Whosoever. But now let me tell you this story because you gotta understand the fundamentals of the endeavor you're embarking upon. It's wonderful if you're going to climb Mount Everest, but you gotta know how to use the rope. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know the fundamentals of the particular endeavor, or you get up there and can't get back down. Anyway, here's the story. Jesus and his disciples were walking to a town called Bethany. They were walking, right? And so Jesus notices a fig tree and he goes over to the tree to get some fruit because the tree had the leaves and stuff and it should have figs during that time of year on it. Well, it didn't. Jesus was disappointed with the fig tree and he said to the tree, notice, he said to the tree, no fruit grow from you hereafter. Basically, he killed the tree with his words. And so they walked on into town without any figs. So the next day, they're walking back. And they're walking the same way, going in any other direction. They took the same route, but they were going back out of Bethany and back to where they were going. Anyway, as they were walking by, Peter said, Jesus, look, that fig tree you cursed is dried up at the roots. Now that is so powerful, so important to grasp a hold of. He spoke to the tree, and the tree dried up at the roots. Now, understand this right here. Any action you take to break the smoking habit or any other habit, if it does not impact, if it does not impress the subconscious mind, it will be fruitless, just like that tree. It won't produce any fruit because a habit is lodged in your subconscious mind. It's there. If you want to know where the habit is located, it's in your subconscious mind, your deeper self, if you will. And the habit, it runs automatic. You know, if you had a serious smoking habit and for some reason or other you went to jail for 60 days, no cigarettes in jail, and you would think that's enough to break the cigarette smoking habit. But when you get out of jail, first thing you probably do is go get a cigarette because the habit just was laying dormant. The habit in your subconscious mind is intelligent. It said, hey, we ain't gonna get no cigarettes while we in jail. Might as well forget about it for now. And so the habit just lays there dormant in your subconscious mind. And when people, you know, you probably have stories of people who did cold turkey, but at the same time, if they did not dislodge the habit from their subconscious mind or override it, right, with a new habit, then the habit is still there and it will be triggered in the future. I've met people like that. I stopped smoking for 2 years and they're buying cigarettes. Well, you know, I'm telling you the reality of it, and that is the habit is embedded in your subconscious mind. You can take pills, you can take medicine, all of that. And, you know, amazingly, the people who are taking the medicine, some of the hot medicine on the market, they kind of inwardly know they're cheating because you're not affecting the habit. You're affecting your response and your reactions, but you're not touching the habit at all. So any action that you take that does not come against the habit that's lodged in your subconscious mind will be in effect. So when Jesus told Peter and the rest of his disciples that they could do the same thing, and he even took it a step further and said, you could speak to the mountain, and the mountain would obey you, because they saw in real time, in real life, that Jesus spoke to the fig tree. The next day, it was withering up from the root. And that's the information that you need right there. To break a habit, you have to attack it at its roots. You have to cause it to wither at its root. You have to cause it to dissipate, to disintegrate slowly or fast. Well, fast would be better, but normally it's slowly. The tree, you know, overnight, it was drying up from the roots. It was dead. And its full reality had not been manifest, but Peter could see enough to say, hey, the tree you spoke to is dying, it's withering up. And this is how you have to do with habits. You have to speak to them a word that will cause them to wither up. Now you say, wait a minute, what can I possibly say? Well, to get started, it's very powerful if you just say what Jesus said. Jesus said that you and I could speak to the mountain and the mountain would obey us. Well, you can speak to your habit and your habit would obey you. But you have to keep speaking. And I'm not going to go into the differences of how Jesus was born and why he could get results faster, quicker, better than we could. Yeah, so that word is called persistent. It's called perseverance, where you take action and you constantly repeat the exact same action, and you will get the result. And what is it? What is the action that you are required to take in order to break the smoking habit or any habit? Well, you have to name the thing so the thing knows you're talking to it. If it's weed, if it's cocaine, if it's cigarettes, if it's whatever the habit is. A lot of people have a serious porn habit. If it's porn, whatever the habit may be, you have to name it and command it. Be thou removed and be thou planted into the sea. So you just simply say, cigarette smoking habit, be thou removed and be thou planted into the sea. And as I explained earlier, the reason why this process is effective is not only because Jesus left it for us to use, but because you're facing the reality of the problem. You're moving the problem from where it is so that it will no longer operate. You're telling the habit to go, right? So that's a clear message. If you just say, oh, I'm gonna quit smoking, that's an unclear message, because you already know quitters never win. So you're saying you're not gonna win in this endeavor. But if you're speaking to the habit, be thou removed and be thou planted into the sea, then that's a clear direction. Clear. What is it? The habit, you gotta go. Be thou removed and be thou planted into the sea. So that means you're taking that habit inside you and you're throwing it to the bottom of the ocean. Boom. Okay. Now you have broken the habit, and you have to be wise enough to know that, because when you have a habit, the habit itself controls you. You're not asking for a cigarette. You're not saying, oh, I need a cigarette after you eat a good meal or you drink coffee. No, the habit is saying, get me a cigarette. And you're saying, yes, sir. You are obeying the habit. Now you're turning the tables and gonna make the habit obey you. You're gonna make it leave. You're gonna tell it what to do, and it's gonna do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I enjoyed spending this moment helping people. Millions of people should hear this and learn how to do it, because it's in the Bible. Whosoever, it's for anybody. So I'm putting the word out that you can use it and overcome. You don't have to make a big deal of it anymore, because you're gonna kill it at the roots. You're not speaking out in space. You're speaking to the very thing, telling it to leave you. And just like Jesus spoke to the fig tree, it's gonna dry up at the roots. So it's gonna stop urging you to smoke. Your subconscious mind is gonna say, hey, he's changing. He doesn't, or he or she doesn't want to do this anymore. They want something else. And your subconscious mind will comply. If you take an action that's not affecting the habit, your subconscious mind is gonna say, okay, wait till the idiot stop running around the block and light up. That's the way it works, folks. So, take advantage of the word of the Lord and be set free. Habit, be thou removed and be thou planted into the sea. And watch it wither up. And when it wither up, then you're free. Thank you for sharing a few moments that could help change the lives of so many around the world. If you can, share it with others you know may be struggling. God bless you.